Hey there, welcome. What if I told you there's a simple, totally free tool you can use anytime to boost your mood, slash your stress, and even make you physically healthier? Well, today we're diving into the science and the story behind random acts of kindness and how they can seriously be your own secret superpower. Does this look familiar? That daily grind, feeling stressed out, a little anxious, maybe totally overwhelmed by everything that's on your plate. Look, it's a feeling most of us know way too well. But what if the way out of that wasn't some complex program or an expensive retreat? What if the solution was as simple as just being kind? I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, right? But the power of kindness is actually backed by some seriously compelling facts.
Okay, let's get into it. We're going to break down 5 key benefits that really transform kindness from just a nice idea into a genuine superpower for your well-being.
First up, kindness is a natural stress buster. And it's not just a feeling, it's an actual chemical reaction. See, when we do something kind, our brains release a hormone called oxytocin. You might have heard it called the love hormone, and it basically acts like a natural antidote to stress because it actively lowers our cortisol levels. It's a real physical response that makes us feel calmer and more connected. Second, let's talk about energy. Now, this might sound a little backwards, but helping other people can actually boost your stamina. Think about it. When you do something meaningful, you get this psychological lift, right? That feeling of purpose can directly translate into feeling more energetic and capable in your own life. And the physical benefits don't stop there. That same wonder hormone, oxytocin, also helps release a chemical that, well, it dilates your blood vessels. This improves your blood flow and can lead to a measurable drop in blood pressure. So when people say kindness is good for the heart, they're being totally literal. Fourth, kindness is an amazing mood stabilizer. When you do something nice for someone, your brain's pleasure centers light up and release dopamine. This creates a genuine feeling of euphoria that people often call the helper's high. It's a natural mood boost that helps smooth out all those emotional ups and downs. And finally, the fifth point, which kind of ties it all together. Being kind just makes us happier. It shifts our focus from our own problems to someone else's well-being. And that gives us a powerful sense of community and purpose. Just take a second and think back to a time you were kind to somebody. Didn't you feel that little lift in your own spirits, even for a moment? So now that we know why kindness is so incredibly powerful, let's talk about the what. Because there's actually a whole week dedicated to putting this superpower into action. Officially, Random Acts of Kindness Week is a celebration of all the ways we can be a positive influence in each other's lives. It's happening from February 14th to the 20th in 2025, and it's basically a global reminder to intentionally go out and spread a little good in the world. And the whole idea here is that it's not about these huge, heroic gestures. It's really about the small things. Buying a coffee for a stranger, leaving a nice note for a coworker. One tiny, seemingly small act can genuinely change the entire course of someone's day. Every movement has a beginning, right? And the story behind Random Acts of Kindness is just a perfect example of how one simple idea can totally catch fire and spread all over the world. It all started with this one phrase, written on a placemat in a restaurant way back in 1982 by a writer named Ann Herbert. It was her peaceful counterstatement to all the news reports about random acts of violence and senseless acts of cruelty. Little did she know, that one sentence would spark a global phenomenon. So from that single placemat in 1982, the phrase just started to spread. Ann Herbert then captured the idea in a children's book, sharing these messages of peace and individual power. And from there, it just kept growing, eventually becoming the international week of celebration that we have today. Pretty amazing. All right, so we've covered the why, the what, and where it all came from. Now it's time to make it happen. Let's get practical with a simple, actionable challenge. Here is your 5-day kindness challenge. These are super simple, everyday things. You could leave a small gift for a friend, or do that one easy thing at the grocery store and put stray carts back where they belong. Maybe bake for a neighbor, or take a chore off a family member's plate. Or hey, invite someone who's eating alone to come sit with you. Each one is small, but so mighty. As we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out for a second, because the real power of kindness isn't just in one single act, but in the chain reaction it creates. This brings us to a really fascinating idea called kindness karate, which asks this exact question. Why aim for 400 acts of kindness instead of just a few? Well, the answer is all about building a habit. When you do anything over and over, you create new pathways in your brain. You're actively rewiring your brain so that kindness isn't just something you do once in a while.
It becomes your default setting. And that's how you create ripples that spread far beyond that first action.
So, that leaves us with one last, really crucial question. It all starts with a single choice, a single action. After everything we've talked about, the only thing left to ask is, what ripple will you start today?